Welcome to World Class Wrestling Network with ALW, the Director of Chaos. And no, I am not CM. I am DM Dolores here to fill in for today, okay? So,
We went from CM to DM. That's funny.
I know.
That's this. And you know what? That's the first time since you've done these new graphic intros that my hasn't buffered for at least a second during the intro. It went smooth the whole time. I was like, "Whoa, this is insane! I've actually seen the whole thing from beginning to end."
Listen,
Because normally,
I've
like
been
around six
working.
or seven, it stalls for a minute and then it jumps in right at the very end for me. It's like, come on.
Listen, I was like, I watching it. Sometimes I watch you out and I'm like, and I see your eyes on me. You like, yeah, welcome. And I'm like, okay, it must have skipped.
It always skips for me. Always. That's the first time it hasn't skipped for me. So, like Laura said, we are here for another episode of Under the Radar, where myself and CM, usually discuss Ring of Honor, BTE, MLW, and Impact. Obviously, Dolores is filling in today. We're not going to talk Impact just because it was kind of a one-off episode. They did their IPWF spoof 80s wrestling episode. And even though it was funny, and I suggest if you enjoy comedy in your wrestling and seeing something a little different, go back and watch it. It's worth watching. I just didn't want to talk about it here because it doesn't really have any impact on the day-to-day workings of the ML or Impact storylines that are going on. So, um, but I suggest you go back and watch it. You watch it, Dolores. What you think?
It was a flashback of weirdness. Ladies and gentlemen, quickly, just quickly, we're gonna just run through them. Just run through them. They did too much every match, and some of it I was down for, and some of it was like, why?
Yeah.
Rapid delivery Pete, like Rich Swan, like I was like, Frank the
Uh,
Butcher,
yeah.
right?
If anyone's familiar with Southpaw Championship Wrestling, which was like a spoof thing that WWE did a couple years ago with everyone, this was that same kind of thing. So, in that
Yeah.
same vein, Mike Bailey plays Kamikaze. Josh Alexander's a lumberjack. I mean, yeah, it's bizarre, but it's funny. But again, it wasn't. I didn't think it was really worth talking about, but it's fun to watch. So, I do suggest you go back and watch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to.
Give me the stage so I can talk a little bit about MLW, your normal weekly ALW on MLW, your weekly dose of dope from me. Here we go. So last week we had on the 18th, we had Fightland, which was only a four-match pay-per-view, which is uh, it makes my heart happy. It's right in the sweet spot. It was like an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. It was less than like a freaking SmackDown episode and an hour less than fucking Raw. It was perfect. But we had Second Gear Crew, Manders, and Matthew Justice defeat the Calling, Ricky Shane Page and Akira, for the tag team title belts. In a ladder match, the important thing about this was that Akira and Ricky Shane Page had a falling out at the end, and Akira basically got booted from. Um, oh geez, why am I drawing a blank on the the name of the group? The Calling. Sorry, he got kicked out of the Calling essentially. So Akira is no longer with the Calling, so that's a big deal. The second match on that card for Fightland was Mance Warner, or was Matt Cardona versus Mance Warner. Loser leaves MLW. Matt Cardona left, but as you'll hear from last night's Fusion, we do still have Mance Warner, but it's Mance Warner in a mask. Shh, don't tell anyone. It's the masked good brother number 3. But here, Mance Warner did lose to Matt Cardona in what was a solid match. Matt Cardona is a part of the World Titan Federation, which Mr. St. Laurent is now the leader of, and he is accumulating quite the roster of people there. So that was a solid match. Our next match at that show was Ichiban and Masquerita Dorada defeating Promociones Dorada of Rocky Romero and Barbero Cavinario. Rocky, this was, Ichiban and Masquerita Dorada are real. Um, they're excellent luchadors. They showed that in this match. Um, Rocky Romero takes a loss as normal. Um, it was a solid match for the pay per view. Good tag team activity. Yeah, it was fun. And then we had the main event, which is really what the show was about. Alex Kane versus Jacob Fatu. Really good match. Alex Kane got the win, as I figured he would. I wanted Fatu to win just because I like Fatu better, but I figured Alex Kane was going to get the win here. He'll have the belt for a while, and this is a good victory for him, a good notch on his belt during that run. So, solid pay per view. I give it probably 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't anything special, but it wasn't terrible. Um, and then we had MLW Fusion last night. Was it? Yeah, last night, Thursday, the 30th. It started off with Jimmy Lloyd defeating Cannonball of the Calling, in a Thumbtack's Pit of Deathmatch. It was, everything you expect it to be with a Jimmy Lloyd match, and anything entitled Thumbtack's Pit of Deathmatch. So lots of chairs, lots of tables, lots of thumbtacks, lots of all sorts of stuff. Fun if you're into those kind of matches. Definitely check it out. This was an action-packed episode of Fusion. They had a lot going on. Serena De Laurentiis was back there, with Iraqi doing several backstage stuff. And Mr. Saint Laurent came out several times. Oh, I forgot to mention the big story. Actually, I apologize. The elephant in the room after Fightland was that at the end of the main event, the Calling came down and got into it with, not the Calling, um, World Titan Federation. I apologize. Matt Cardona, and came down and got into it with Alex Kane and the Mumbai Fight Club, and Alex Hammerstone came out and appeared to be on the side of the World Titan Federation, and is in fact a member now of the World Titan Federation. He is back in MLW, and with Mr. Saint Laurent, with Matt Cardona, and the other guy's name who I'm drawing a blank on, JB something I want to say. Um, but yeah, so that bled over into this week's episode of Fusion, so that's why I wanted to mention it. Then we had the Wasted Youth, um, in a okay match. Not a whole lot to talk about, but I do like main event. We get the Lion and Midas Black. They do their thing with the hula hoop where the Lion jumps through it on the tope suicida, which is always fun. But not a whole lot there to talk about. Then we had Zeta defeated Gia Scott. I like Gia Scott. I don't really know Zeta, but the important thing is that after this match, after Zeta won, Mr. Saint Laurent came down and signed his first Federette. Zeta is now part of World Titan Federation, which is surprisingly, the initials are WTF. And the big deal is that they have a show coming up, on December 7th, I believe it's called One Shot, which is MLW, basically versus World Titan Federation. That's how they're branding it. So that's next Thursday. It's on a Thursday. I don't know why they do it on a Thursday, but I guess it is what it is. And then the main event of this week's Fusion was World Titan Federation Alex Hammerstone, Josh Bishop. That's the name I couldn't remember. Thank you. Tom Lawler. They defeated um, Jabuji, Mr. Thomas, and O'Shea Edwards, of the Mumbai Fight Club in a solid main event match. Tom Lawler was great. He had a great promo. I'm here for the World Titan Federation. I think they're the most exciting thing going on in MLW at the moment. And yeah, so that was MLW briefly, and check it out. It was fun. So it seems to be they're turning the heat back up. It seems like MLW is warming up again. It was kind of cold there for a minute, a little slow for a minute, but it's warmed up a little bit. So I think you're muted.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, fight with the mute button. CM on BTE. But you know what? There's no CM and no more BTE. So guess
No
what
more
it is?
BT.
No more
No.
BTE. But I
I know. I looked
will.
for it. I looked for it for like, every week for like a month or so, and I was like, well, why haven't they put out a new episode since like the end of October? What's going on here? And then it was like the middle of October, and CM was like, yeah, I couldn't find one either. I don't. So now you're saying that they're all done, huh? Now it's become being
Yeah,
the Dark Order.
yeah, it is
Yep.
being the Dark Order, ladies and gentlemen. BTDO, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to know what about happened on this episode, first of all, they got new branding. And then they're trying to find new people to come on the show. They started off with the boys, which led into the match we'll talk about on ROH. That's how the match happened. Is because they went to Delta Council. First of all, he said I'm eating a cheese sandwich. It was just cheese and two pieces of bread. Then, then he was like, "Oh, so y'all come to get me?" They were like, "No, we ain't looking for you. We looking for the boys." And they was like, "You'll never take my boys away from me. You will never take my boy." I was like, "This seems a little bit weird. I need you to get it together." So then they find the boys, and the boys are like acting like birds, and they were like, "No, no, we can't have them." And Silver says, "I'm scared of birds because one tried to take my pecker off. I died. I died from the I was
He said
like,
a bird
what?
tried to take his pecker off.
They're like, yeah, we can't mess with birds. So then they continue to look for people. Then they get to Daniel Garcia, and he was like, they were like, we like your dance moves. You can have your own segment where you're dancing, just you by yourself. And he was like, well, I'll take my craft seriously. Do y'all know how to dance? And then not Alex Reynolds was like, yeah, I did a little tap. I did one class, then I Evil, Evil Uno was like, I can dance, but it has to be slow. And he started like doing some moves. And Dave Johnson was
Oh hell
like,
no!
no, that's not it. No, that's not it. And then Johnson was like, well, I can dance. It was not good. And he's like, Reynolds, you can save this. You can save them from like me doing this. And he's like, okay, okay. He's like, show me your tap skills. He's like, so what? You want me to just feel? Because they struggling to film throughout this whole thing. So he points down to his feet. That was one good time and was like, and then you like, stop it. And he just grinds in their face and puts them away. And Evil Uno was like, I've had about enough. This is a struggle for me. And so he goes and finds Cutler and Cabana, and he was like, I can't hold the camera. I can't do. I'll give you six figures. First of all, they took $100 from Jay's old manager to put an ad up, and then gave Iron Savages about it seemed like forever promo. But ladies and gentlemen, they wanted to let you know, get jacked, but don't get jacked upon. Okay? So I was like, this is what we doing? And so each one was like, I can't do this. And so he goes in there, Brandon Cutler is like, you are shaking badly. Like you are shaking with this camera badly. He's like, how am I supposed to hold it? How am I supposed to talk to people and record myself? I need y'all help. So then he promises them like six figures to come and work for him. And then it's like, when we gonna start? And then they said, can we get an action figure? He was like, it's a lot of things I can do, but that ain't one of them. So he promised them that they could show their dark matches. That's exactly what he said. He said you can record your dark matches and put them on BCDO. I was like, this is what we become. This is what we do. But this is the world. They're running out of money. They have spent a lot first to buy this brand, and now to try to get people to stay on.
That's hilarious.
But
I have to
then we
check
get
that out.
to ROH, ladies and gentlemen.
Ring of
It's only a few
Honor.
matches. Only a few matches Thursday that I really, 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 really love. Um, for the
Yep.
ROH World Title Proving Ground match, Eddie Kingston defeating Lee Johnson was good.
Yep. Anytime I get to see Eddie, I'm happy. I always like to see Eddie, so good with that.
My heart was broken. Well, I'm just going through
Yeah.
the matches. I'll let you know. But my heart was broken at Emery. I want Emi Sakura to win, but not against Trish Adora. That hurt.
Yeah. It's tough. I really like them both. I don't. I understand. I'm always bothered when people I like wrestle each other. I understand why they do it, but like, I don't want either of them to lose. I mean, I want them both to win. I don't like them wrestling each other because I don't want them to lose.
Yeah. This match was good, but it was funny because
This is
Layla
fucking weird to me. Yeah, this whole thing is weird to me. Like Layla's there with Maria and Rachel Ellering. I guess they're both vying for her to join their stable, I guess. And so the whole thing is weird. She's trying to decide who she wants to choose between. And yeah,
But we got to the moment I've been waiting for a while. Billy Starks defeated Marina Shafir, but she turned on Athena. She said, I had about enough of you and your BS.
yeah.
And you could see it because if ladies and gentlemen, if you follow Workers Wrestling Network, we do GCW watch alongs. We've been watching Billy get vicious.
Hmm.
And so she's like, I've had about enough. You're going to have this ceremony and wish the other person who is not even doing anything well and then go, it's over with. It made her mad. So
Yeah, I
what
mean,
did
to
you
be
think?
fair, Athena's been, terrible to her, and we've all just been waiting for Billy to be like, "I'm done with this," right? At some point, and it finally happened, as well it should. I thought it came off really well. Um, I think it's great. I like Billy Starks. I think she's got a bright future. I like this Athena, this heel Athena. Very cocky, very whatever. So I'm here for it. I assume we're gonna get some sort of a Billy Starks versus Athena feud here. I don't know if Billy will actually beat her for the belt, but that wouldn't necessarily upset me. Not uh, more like beat her and then lose it again back to her. Like I don't necessarily want to see her to not have the titles anymore, but like it wouldn't be bad to me to have Billy have them just for a minute. And then like in a surprise victory, she has it for a minute, maybe gets a victory over someone else and then loses them again to Athena or whatever. Or honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Athena move up to the main AEW roster. I'd like to see her competing with, the likes of Willow and Chris Statlander for the TBS title, or going up and competing, with the Sheetas and the Tony Storms for the AEW Women's title. So,
Yeah.
so
It really didn't, the story didn't make any sense as far as you took an announcer and turned her into the opposition.
yeah,
And all she does is just stand there, yeah, yeah. Like you could have took another wrestler and made it seem believable where they have to fight each other. I'm like,
yeah,
she's not gonna fight this poor girl because she didn't even shove her hard enough when she hit Athena. And I'm like, so it just immediately there's no middle to get to Athena. It's just out straight to Athena.
it's just straight to Athena. Yeah, Lexi Nair's not going to do anything. I did think it was funny though, the leading up before Athena turning the whole. We're going to announce a valedictorian, and then she announces Lexi Nair, and you can just see Billy Stark's face, just
She was
crushed,
hurt.
like just hurt, just
I
like someone
know.
ran over a dog or something. Yeah, it was
No,
yeah.
what can be is when she Athena at the beginning of the show decided she was gonna snap on Eddie Kingston, and then Lexi there is in the back going, "Yeah, I told you, uh-huh, right," and I'm like, "Who gives a fuck is this?" And then she's
And I
like,
know
"Bye."
I was gonna say I know Lexi Nair and what you call it, Billy Starks were in red and yellow, but why are you calling them ketchup and mustard? Like that's fine. Crowd was cheering for mustard and shit. I was like, oh hell no.
Chris Coleman, and it was like, "Them people," because was on the hot dog. I was like, "That's so wrong." But
Yeah,
ladies
no, that
and
was one of the
gentlemen,
better parts of
yeah, there was.
Rob or of ROH this week. Yeah,
Yeah. Then we had what led from the BETE, the ROH World Television Title, Survival of the Fittest 2023. Listen, TK, I'm tired of these long 45-minute names I got to run through to get
right,
to the match. Okay,
right. This is a fallout of Joe though vacating that title. This is a tournament ultimately for that title
we
that
could have
Joe
just said the
vacated.
ROH Television Proven Matches. We got to go to the fittest of 2023. This is come on, now. This is too much.
Uh,
Dolphin Council with the boys, Brendan and
yeah.
Brent defeated Eva Uno, which again all I could hear because I saw BTE right before this was the "you can't take my boys away from me." It's like you can't. Uh, Brandon and Colt defeated,
These two make me
GPA.
laugh. I mean, there's not a
Yes,
lot to say about this match other than just that I laugh watching Brandon Cutler and Colt Cabana wrestle together. Colt in the sleeveless version of Brandon Cutler's jacket is fucking hysterical. Yeah, the two of them are great together.
Uh, again, ROH World Television Title Survival of the Fittest 2023 Eliminator match. Whew.
For
Commander.
me,
Yeah.
this was the best match of the night. I thought of
Yeah.
this episode of Ring of Honor.
He defeated ALW twin Gringo Loco.
That's right, Gringo ALW Loco, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, no, that was everything I wanted it to be, other than Gringo Loco losing. But yeah, I mean, when you see those two on paper, you think you know what you're gonna get, and they did exactly what you expect them to do. It was fun, and I thought it was the best match of the show.
Uh, listen, I'm going to explain why this is funny to me. La Facción Ingobernable defeated the Spanish Announce Project. First of all, the fact that Preston Vance is now amongst the crew of like he is rolling with the homies and he out there with the flag. He doing more than QT. And I'm like, at this point, ain't nobody gonna mention that
Super
he don't
white guy.
belong. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna mention that. Ain't nobody gonna say you taking this
Right,
too far. But you know
right.
what? They like it, I love it. Uh,
Uh,
then we had Nyla Rose versus defeating Zoe Lynn.
oh,
Nyla,
also
the
real
way
quick,
she ran down, yeah.
I was gonna say real quick that back to the previous match. The announcers made it very clear that Angelico has made it clear that he is called Angelico, not Angelico, which is what I thought it was. I always thought they were right. That 2 weeks ago, Caprice started saying Angelico, and I was like, why is he calling him fucking Angelico? You sound stupid. But apparently, that is the name that he wants
I
to
think
be called.
Angelico is owned by a company. He used to go
Ah,
by that, but I
okay,
think he no longer,
okay.
he having
So now
a
it's
kill switch.
Angelico. Okay.
Yeah, now he having a kill switch moment. He got to change his name.
Yeah.
Nala Rose defeating this girl. This poor girl, listen, she ragdoll her. She ragdoll her. And they had enough nerve to power bomb and just slide her to her like she was just a raggedy doll and then wave her hand and was like, I was like, okay. I need you to do that to big name people, not people in ROH.
Yeah, I agree.
The Butcher and the Blade defeated the Iron Savages.
It was
As they
good to see
say,
the butcher and the blade back. I like to see that. The butcher's bald now. I noticed that. He is sans hair, which, to be fair, the hair he had before wasn't very appealing, so he looks better bald anyhow. You might as well just shave it off when it's that looking, when it looks like that. So, but I'm happy to see the Butcher and Blade Black. I feel like they've been gone for a long time. They are one of the better tag teams in Ring of Honor AEW, in my opinion. Yeah, and I like the Iron Savages. I like their kind of new look and their new look, and their promos are funny at the moment. So this is fun.
listen, I'm gonna say this, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna get stuck in your head. Because the moment I thought about it, it was stuck in my head. Wardlow has Chad Gable's head, but Wardlow's body. Okay? Look at his little face. He does. It really has. It stuck with me.
Uh,
It has stuck with me. I can't let it go.
no, you didn't.
The last match of the night was Brian Cage with Prince Nana defeated Action Andrade. This made me mad for one reason. Prince Nana, we saw come out on crutches.
Right?
And then all of a sudden, he is just great enough to run around the ring.
Right? Yep. Nah, this was fun. I mean, this was a solid main event. This is probably the second best match of the show after Commander and Gringo Loco. Brian Cage can really wrestle. Action and Andretti's fun, and it was fun.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say that was our review of ROH, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you are tuned in. Since I'm here, I will go over the. That's the old schedule. Where's the new schedule?
Uh,
What are we doing? Oh, here we go.
Hey
No,
everybody.
I was gonna say we
nope.
need your commercial again, where we could just play the commercial.
Listen, listen. I ain't been over in this neck of the woods in so long, and then I come over here, ain't nothing done. I'm like, I am shocked and appalled. But ladies and
I
gentlemen,
am
because I
shocked and
explained
appalled.
so much, Because I said so much, I'm going to say it again. Mondays at 10 a.m. is me and Jay News together talking about the stars of upcoming indie shows. Then you have Tuesday at the cookout. Well, we all get together at 10:30 p.m. so we can feed you real good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? Wednesday is all for not with ALW and Sammy Joe, where they come together to talk all things WWE from Raw to NXT. Then we get Thursday. It's Aftermath of Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. Boom! All things AEW. And when I mean AEW, I mean Rampage, Collision, Dynamite from the day before. They also preview and review all the pay per views. Okay. Friday. Friday is Friday night fights, ladies and gentlemen. But the kids are running the asylum, left alone, just doing what they want to do. Because Anika and Sammy Joe start off with SmackDown at 8 and then roll into Rampage. Ladies and gentlemen, also, there's a pay per view. We got you on Friday. Saturday is Saturday night is all right, where me, CM, and Anika all get together and spread that black girl magic. Ding, 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 all on your life. You come in broken, but you leave whole. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday morning, at 11 a.m. You have ALW and Sammy Joe fighting it out. I mean, out about Into the Square Circle. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they are playing video games and having fun. But you know what? Somebody's got to be the Into the Square Circle champion. And right now, my boy ALW, he doing bad. But he got to come up. He got to come up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you also click this icon on YouTube audio, you will find the Cookout podcast. Also, the cookout is on a lot of platforms. We're on Spotify, Radio Republic, Google Podcasts, so many more. Those on those socials we drop the next day, but you can listen to live on YouTube audio with this. Also, YouTube audio if you watch and watch along. Come in. We know you busy. You got a life. You might got kids. You might got a job. You might be driving. You know what you can do? Listen in and have a good time, ladies and gentlemen. Also, ladies and gentlemen, go back, watch the retro watch alongs. We've had two so far. Sammy and ALW and then the gang together. Okay? So, listen, I've done that so many times. It's in me. It's
It's
in
in
me.
you.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to try us on our social platforms. We on Discord, we on Threads, we on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok. Listen, as I say, we worldwide. If your mama and grandma get a tattoo, it's gonna say Workhouse Wrestling Network on it. Okay?
We like an STD. We infecting everybody.
Listen,
Uh,
I ain't gonna say all that. I ain't gonna say all that. We might be a cult, but
uh,
so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
thank
Because
you.
CM is not here. We miss you, CM. I miss you, okay? I But normally, where I am, when I'm in the presence of World Cup Wrestling Network, I tell everyone, it's time to cut the lights out. We got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. And until then, peace.